their ceiling falling on them, but they are paying. So can we have a mechanism where these missions that charge resources remain with some NTR for maintenance? It's only fair to ask, because when we go through this process of requesting for resources, there are no resources, but they are sending all the money for NTR back to the country. I think it is not fair.
Mr. Chairman, on that very point, you remember what the PSST said?
Yes.
Said that why can't you make that application?
We have made
it here.
We have made the application.
That you write, and that matter will be handled. So give us a letter which was received at finance.
Okay.
We shall do that, Chair.
Okay.
On the account of the subventions, we shall share the details of this as Honorable Xavier has requested. We shall share the details, but also we are aware that colleagues from Auditor General's office are going to do a detailed audit of that particular account in this the financial year that has just ended. Then I'll ask my colleagues to respond to the issues of accounts, but let me just finalize the other issues. I want to say that we have done some substantial work on missions, not just Juba, Kigali, Burundi, DRC, as well as Somalia. Paris should come to an end. And indeed, Canada is a victim of our procurement law. Every time we have started, we have had setbacks simply because the Canadian laws are totally different. We can't apply our PPDA Act on those processes. So that's why we are engaging with PPDA, as I said earlier, to see to it that those changes
Mr. Chairman,
are implemented.
On Canada, the money is there. So
yes, they have the money. It has been, they have some money to start at least.
Okay.
But the challenge has been every time we start, you have not ticked this procurement law box, and therefore you can't proceed. And again, on the issue of whether we can use Ugandans, indeed, Juba that you see there, it's a Ugandan firm that has that has done the job, and we have tried as much as possible to engage Ugandan companies where possible. And lastly, from my side, on the roads in DRC Congo, the Ministry of Works and Transport would give a better elaborate report on that, but we cooperate with them.
Mr. Chairman, on that one, can I comment something?
Before you comment, I wanted to protect the PS when you were making your submission. This is a matter we have discussed extensively in Parliament. And I only wanted you to say what you want to say. But
Mr. Chairman,
it was in the 10th Parliament. It was a problem. Standing on the floor to explain was a very big problem. When along the way, the agreements were submitted, and the answer is very clear. And as far as I'm concerned, I mean, as far as I can recollect, foreign affairs was a little bit distant in the picture at that time. I don't know whether now they have come closer as far as the roads are concerned, but from what we received in Parliament, you are very far. Very far.
Yeah, they are not very far.
No, diplomat number one. I'm saying from what we received on that issue of the roads, I'm not talking about it generally. On that issue of the, because even the agreement which was submitted on the floor, authenticated by the Attorney General, foreign affairs were not even witnesses.
Mr. Chairman, can I
yeah, the PS has reported that they are collaborating. Now, the only clarity for the handset is to what extent is the collaboration as far as those are concerned, especially the road.
Mr. Chairman,
I think it's submitted.
Yeah.
Mr. Chairman, I want to make a...
Now, let me listen to Honorable Kwizera first.
You see, Mr. Chairman, the PS, the accounting officer, is the one who represents us in the foreign countries.
You say
It
it's
is-
number
it is-
3.
It is, yes.
Mm,
When you mix the issue of works, that's not being fair.
mm,
Issue of defense, that's not fair. He's the one who goes there, because he's the one who advises them.
mm.
I want him to clarify on 2 things. Does Uganda have a foreign policy? In accordance with the Constitution, Part 28, we have a written foreign policy, and you can bring this committee a copy to see how Uganda relates to other countries. That's 1. 2, we must be having a bilateral arrangement, either joint permanent commission or otherwise, under which we are working on those roads.
Mm.
Then those roads, are they not related to the dates we are supposed to pay? So those are things which we should tell now. We under our foreign policy, which is written.
Which days? Of the ICJ?
He knows them. Now, Mr. Chairman, he should give us the country foreign policy, which he gives to ambassadors when they are going out. Because
That is a legitimate, that's a legitimate request.
Of course. Second, Mr. Chairman, is that each country, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, must prepare what we call a country, national policy, country position. What is the relationship do we have with this one? And how do we enter there? But if he surrenders to defense and works, it will be, he will have failed his duty.
Okay,
Even defense is supposed to be there on his advice.
okay. Over to you, diplomat number 3.
Yes,
You know, Honorable Kwizera, having been there, knows how to structure you.
yes.
You are number 3. So please take over.
Thank you very much, Chair, and thank you, the Honorable Kwizera.
Mm.
First of all, it is true we have bilateral relations with the DRC. And the decision, Chair, as you said, it's a matter that has been discussed on the floor of Parliament. It is true we sit on the committee as the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. The committee is led by the Ministry of Works, and we are there to support the diplomatic and bilateral relations.
You see the issue that when they receive roads, what do we receive as Uganda?
Now that detail is in the agreement.
Can we bring the agreement and
and Chair, I can share that detail.
do we receive some gold? Do we receive what do we receive? Timber?
Chair, but let me say this in general terms. The idea was DRC, the eastern part of DRC, as we know, has a very significant market where Ugandans can sell produce or goods, and indeed services. But the road, the place is inaccessible. It's from that spirit that the government of Uganda said, let us have a bilateral arrangement. We both contribute to the construction of the roads in the eastern part of that country. And we are being led by the Ministry of Works and Transport.
And you know the Parliament of Kinshasa rejected that.
Chair, I'll give you
I can
comment
give you the
because
information, yes.
Rejected. You know, it's their neighbor, so it's very. No, but you see, PS, just to help you, the agreements were laid before Parliament. I will protect you from anybody saying you read them again. For them. It was a heated discussion. In fact, initially, government was very reluctant to even discuss, very reluctant. We pushed the matter. Eventually, they came, they tabled the agreements on the floor, and they are available. So as far as that is concerned, and the other thing, I also want to protect you from the issue of the International Court of Justice. You see, when we lost the case, the International Court of Justice, and we were constructing roads in the Congo, there was a discussion on whether, as part of the consideration, we will be offset. Okay? And because we asked the executive, why? Because of this good relationship, either they forgive us the debt you know, that the court case. We use this Congo, I mean, the road construction, you know, processes and activities, settle the obligations, the debt obligations. But I think government was unwilling to take that path. Very unwilling to take that path. And I even recall we discussed it on the floor, and they said the two are completely different. We'll see how to manage the court award, but also this other relationship of road construction. That's also a matter that we've discussed. So I would request that you deal with the other issues.
Thank you for the
outside
protection.
that.
Lastly, from my end, before I hand over to my colleagues to do the financials, Chair, we have a draft foreign policy.
Okay.
That is in the process of being concluded, indeed in accordance with Objective 28 of the Constitution. But having said that, we have annual policy intentions exhibited in our ministerial policy statements. But we are working on a 5-year policy, which indeed we shall renew as and of when it expires.
Mr. Chairman, the PS should not.
Don't make it.
Thank you, Chair.
Mm.
I would like to look at table on page 12. Then on page 25.
Yes. You look at them concurrently. Or...
Page 26.
Are you saying 25 and 26
No,
or
page
12 and
26.
26?
12 and 26.
Okay.
26, we look at note 11.
Okay.
To which was subscription for the period under review. So we pass adjusting journals and recognize that component. That is why the figure moves to 29 billion and the statement of appropriation, because it's broken down into transfers to other organizations. And then we have domestic areas. So it is those two tables that are looked at when we do the adjusting journals.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Thank you. But just take a pass. Like when you say when we pay 24, show us where 24 is, that we move with you. Because you refer that to the two pages, But whenever you are mentioning, you don't refer to one of the pages, yet you've talked of the 2 pages.
I'm going to start with page 17, where you raise the issues, transfers to other organization, 11 billion. And I'm also going to look at domestic areas of 34 billion. Now, the government paid the 34 billion domestic areas in full, and then we incurred a debt, which debt becomes 37 billion. Now, 21 billion refers to the period under review. That is page 33. Are we okay there? Yeah. Now, the 21 billion, now when we are closing the year, because of the system, we do adjustment journals. Now, the subscription for the year, we consumed a service where, because we have moved from cash into accrual basis. So 29 billion is accrued contributions, which has the component on page 26, which we have the transfers to international organizations of 4 billion, transfers to non-government units of 632 million. And then we have international contributions.
Transfers to non-government units. That's 632
Yes.
to resident non-government units.
Are you saying 29 billion is, the all of it is accrued?
No, when we are doing the statement of the financial performance, we bring into consideration the arrears that were incurred in the period under review as something we consumed, but we never paid for.
Just simplify for us, out, page 26, where you referred us to, just out of the 29.3 billion, which one do you pay in the year and which one accrued? Then you take us to where it accrued.
Now, the one that was paid in the year is international contributions. That is the budget line to which Parliament approved. Then resident non-government units, the 632 billion.
The chairman, can I be educated on resident non-government units? Can I be educated? What are those?
These are, we have subventions. These are subventions, Pan-Africa women, Pan-Africa men, to which we pay for their operational costs. Their subventions under foreign affairs.
Resident non-government units.
I think it was a topo error. It had to be transferred to other government units.
Transfer?
So what is the right one?
These are
Excuse me.
subventions.
Yes, but you see, so transfers to other government units, then
it, I'll use the example of African Union, that the moment we pay, some of it is a subscription for the period. The money that was provided for international contributions was 4.3 billion, and I need 6 billion to clear African Union in totality. So I pick that when I'm doing the adjusting journals, I pick the 2 billion that doesn't fall under domestic areas and put it under the other category to show a proper relationship, that there are subscriptions for the period to which we actually paid. And then there are domestic areas to which we paid. Because we have a couple of tables. We have table on page 31.
Chair, maybe you need to give her time because you see, all those journals we are talking to should finally feed into what we have.
Yes.
Because what we have is just a summary.
Okay, and you see, yes, when I make opening remarks, I make them deliberately and consciously. So you should not carry a rope to hang yourself, because as I said, we don't want anybody to take this committee as a fact-finding committee. That's why we said there's also room to ask for time if issues are being raised and the information is not readily available. So please, that information should be provided by end of Wednesday to our clerk, okay? So colleagues, I want at this point in time to bring our interaction with the Minister of Foreign Affairs to a closure and immediately usher in Naguru Hospital. But in the meantime, we can have a 1 minute break. You can walk to the corner there as the other group comes in. Thank you. PS, you are released. Just yeah. No. That's most of the for the service. An accountability committee, interactive committee. It's not a fault finding committee, but it's an accountability committee. Accountability committees by nature ask hard questions if answers are not coming. But sometimes we are misunderstood. So we are not here to embarrass or humiliate. No. So feel free and to make our interaction smooth, be clear, speak to your documents, speak to the facts, and then you allow the debate to flow. And accounting officer, since you have come with a team where you need assistance, feel free to call any of your people. And unlike at your place in Naguru, here we provide the tea and water to our guests. Them have come, they have not taken any tea. So you are free in the course of the interaction to go for tea and some bites over there. And we hope that we should have a very smooth interaction. So I want to invite you, accounting officer, to take us through your experience. You switch on the microphone.
Thank you, Chair, and honorable members of Parliament, members of this committee. Straight away, I take you to page 1 of our booklet, where the queries from the Auditor General's office. One shows the key deliverables for Naguru Hospital data. Page 3, 1.1. That's where the groups utilization of the warrants. This is basically a human resource issue, and which affected the performance, the budget performance to be 91.92%. The main issues that table is recruitment and it showed that we are not able to recruit to cover the wage that was appropriated to us. So our response there is that during that year, recruitment plans are submitted to the service commission and filled up as appendix is attached. We are happy to report that the compensation is that under but we are not